Hey, what's up YouTube? It's Scott, Skyny Tradition, back with a video. Been a few weeks since my last video, but I did get a couple pickups in, so we're going to go through those, as well as it's Thursday, the night of the NFL Draft. Always an exciting time. Even more awesome that it's at Lambeau Field this time around, in Green Bay, so that's freaking awesome. Been kind of crazy. A lot of people talking about it here in Wisconsin, so can't wait to watch that later tonight. I'll give you my prediction of who the Packers will pick at the end of the video. But let's get into the pickups. So not a ton of pickups coming in. I've actually sold a few things again, which is kind of cool. But we're gonna go through the pickups I did find. The first one knocks one of those hard to find Packers Team Hall of Fame autographs off of the list. And I was able to grab this one from Heritage Auctions, and it is the 1959 Topps Max McGee rookie card auto. PSA DNA has only certified 6 of these, so there's not like a ton of them floating around out there, and was able to nab this one at Heritage Auctions for a really good price. I think I paid around $180 for it, plus whatever the shipping was to ship out. Last one that sold was a few months ago on eBay, sold for about $320, so I feel like I did really well on this. There's like 2 other ones on eBay that I've been watching for a long time. They're like at, ridiculous prices, like $800, $1,200 or best offer kind of stuff. They've just been sitting there for like a year or two, and those haven't moved. So to get this one for like $180, that was a victory. Max McGee, what's really funny about this, if you look at the age on the back, he is 27 years old on the back. Does this look like a 27-year-old man? I don't know. I don't think it does, but Max McGee is 27 years old in this photo. Pretty crazy. But kind of the most fun story about Max McGee is the Super Bowl I story, Packers vs. Chiefs. Basically, he goes out with Paul Hornung on a bender the night before and is hungover the next day. And one of the Packers, main receiver, Boyd Dowler, I believe, gets hurt during the game and hurts his shoulder somehow. So Max McGee has to come in. Well, McGee should have been the MVP of Super Bowl I, because he ended up with 8 catches for 150 yards and 2 touchdowns while hungover. So, epic story of Max McGee in Super Bowl I. And finally have an autographed version of his rookie card in the collection. So, very excited about that. This is a hard one to find, and certainly hard to find for a reasonable price. So when I was able to get this one for what I got it for, I'm extremely happy to knock that one off the list as I slowly churn away at that list. Hopefully in the next couple months here, I'll have my full service from Garrett, my PSA DNA full service coming back. There's 5, 6, 7 nice cards in there that I can't wait to get back. So really excited about that. And the second pickup I have is just kind of happenstance. So my friend Troy messaged me, who's a fellow Packers collector. He's doing the set registry along with me. Known him for over a decade now. And there was a friend of his who he knows who had also done the set registry, but has slowly kind of been getting rid of some of his cards over the years. And he gave me a list of a couple cards that he was getting rid of, and there was one that caught my eye. And so the first price that the seller gave me was pretty high. I was like, well, I don't think I can do that, but I told him what I would do. And card was offered to one other person. That person declined, and I was able to get the card for now it wasn't cheap, but it was what I felt comfortable paying towards the high end of what I thought the card would be. So we were able to make a deal. Actually met the seller in person. Only lives about half hour away from me, 20 minutes away, so was able to do an in-person deal. And the irony of this is you just never know who you meet in the sports card hobby. I'm not going to mention his exact name just for his privacy, but he was the president of one of the main law firms in the area. So I find that to be fascinating, that card collecting of all things is what bridges everybody together. And my wife was funny. She's like, well, why would this guy come and meet you to do this deal for cards? I'm like, because cards. Why not, right? You're in the hobby. Doesn't matter who you are. Big deal, little deal, doesn't matter. You have that shared collecting experience. So I was able to meet him. Great guy. We chatted for about 20 minutes about all kinds of different things. And I was able to make the deal. So this is the card. It's the 1999 Fleer Focus Donald Driver Stealth rookie card in a PSA 10. Only pop of 2. The only 2 of these have ever been graded at 10. So a very big card. It's arguably Donald Driver's best card, I would say. I already happen to have in the regular set registry an example of his regular rookie card in a 10. This is also pop 2. The regular one, if you look, again, this is the one that I already had, is numbered out of 3850. To get a gem on these is almost impossible. The back is black and green and chips very, very easily, so that's why there's only been 2 of them graded to this point. And if you look at the back of the Stealth, it's the same type of thing. The Stealths are only numbered out of 300, and I'm not sure where they're at because you just never see them come up for sale. You maybe see 1 or 2 pop up per year for sale. Certainly you don't see the 10s come up for sale. I mean, this is the one of only 2 that exist, and he had one of them. So to make a deal for this one off eBay, it's just one of those cards you got to jump on if you get the chance. So probably not leaving my collection anytime soon. And ironically, I had one of these already, but it was in a BGS 8.5, and that one literally just sold earlier this morning, so it's already sent off for certification, and sold it for a really great price too. So that helped offset some of the cost of this bad boy. And this one is numbered 193 out of 300, and the one that I sold that I already had was ironically numbered 293 out of 300. So just a weird coincidence there, but able to sell that one to offset the cost of this one. National's right around the corner, so it never hurts to have a little more spending money available for the National as well. So, and then as I mentioned last time, I've been slowly working on selling off the all-time Brewers set that I had built in the set registry, and I think I only have 1 or 2 cards left. So I just sold the Raleigh Fingers rookie card off last week and sent that one out. That one sold for a good price as well. So I know the economy is less than predictable right now. It's people are very uncertain as to what's happening. You hear something different every single day, which I don't think bodes well for things. People like stability. They like to know what's going on. So, but for whatever reason, the card market to this point, I would say, has not quite seen any disruption so far. I mean, both the things I just sold for really healthy prices. So, so those are the 2 pickups. Again, we got the Donald Driver Stealth rookie card in a 10 out of 300, and the Max McGee. So we got a pair of Packers wide receivers here. Very cool. Now let's talk about the draft. Packers have I believe it's 23rd pick or 24th pick in the draft. And, they pick around that area a lot. And their GM, Brian Gutekunst, has not been known for just killing it in the first round. Like, he's just, a lot of their picks he likes to take guys that are high athletic type players, that have high numbers, height, weight, speed, that don't necessarily have the best football players. Like, in his mind, they want to be able to take these raw tools and develop them into a good player. Well, I mean, Jordan Morgan was drafted in the first round last year. He's an offensive lineman out of Arizona. Didn't play all year, didn't even see the field because he had an injury. The year before that, Packers drafted Lucas Van Ness out of Iowa. Barely played at Iowa, but he had that height, weight, speed. The guy looks like Hercules. 2 years in, has not developed yet. So those are 2 question mark fails so far. And there's been a few of those over the years. I mean, they took obviously Jordan Love was a first round pick and had that really great first half of the year 2 years ago. And then last year was a little more pedestrian, right? Like middle of the road, like 15 to 20th best quarterback in the league kind of stuff. But he shows at times he shows talent, but it's that consistency of talent, right? That's everything. Like, can you go out every game and make this happen? And so he's shown glimpses of that, but he has not shown the consistency that you need to be a top-tier quarterback in the league. This year, I think, will be a telltale year of what Jordan Love is going to be. You know, is he going to be the next in line, or is he just going to be a so-so quarterback? I mean, he's already got that crazy big contract now, so the Packers got to live with him either way. But we don't know yet, you know, if that was a good pick by Gutekunst, I think. He's got some ability, but again, at the time they took him, they still had 3 years of Rodgers left, technically. So that was a bold pick by Gutekunst. So we don't know about that one yet. There was some other picks, like Darnell Savage was one of his picks, the safety, and he amounted to nothing. But he was like a 4.4 speed guy, but like couldn't play football. You know, there's been a lot of picks like that. You know, Jair Alexander was his first pick, and that was a good pick back in 2018. Jair's been good for the Packers. He's a good player. You know, really injured, that's been his problem. But as far as talent goes, like, that was a pretty good pick, I think. But there's been a lot more not so great picks. You know, Eric Stokes was another pick. Never amounted to anything, and then also got injured. Devontae Wyatt they took in the first round as well, out of Georgia. And he's got some talent, but again, the consistency isn't there. So we'll see. Gutekunst has not been great in the first round, but he likes those height, weight, speed guys. You know, in that same vein, there's an edge rusher in this draft, a 6'5" guy out of Texas A&M, Shamar Stewart. He's only had like 4 sacks, I think, but he gets to the pressures on the quarterback a lot, but not a lot of sacks, but has those intangible numbers. So, like, that's a Packer pick right there. Like, that's somebody that I could see them taking if available. Will he be there? I'm not sure. Do I think they should? Not necessarily. I just don't think the Packers need another project guy. They need some guys that are going to, like, get there and play football now and be disruptive. You know what I mean? So I think what might end up happening is they might end up trading back in the first round if it's just one of their guys isn't there. A guy that I would love to see them take is Will Johnson, the corner out of Michigan. Not sure if he's going to be there. A lot of people have him really high on their big boards, and others have injury concerns, so he could go any number of places, but the talent is certainly there when healthy. So Will Johnson, the corner out of Michigan, would be a good pick, but I'm not sure that he's going to be there when the Packers pick. And another one that I wouldn't mind them seeing him taking is Derek Harmon, the defensive tackle out of Oregon. For that reason, Kenny Clark isn't getting any younger, and Devontae Wyatt, although good in spurts and at times, doesn't show the consistency all the time. So I think they could use another replenishment of talent on the defensive line. And Gutekunst loves drafting big people in the first round. It's kind of like, I think he said, like, you know, God only made so many people 6'5", 6'6", 300 pounds. So big people are tough to find. A lot easier to find the skill guys, the wide receivers and running backs of the world. So I could see him possibly trading back to like 28, 29, something like that. Maybe taking a defensive tackle like Derek Harmon. They may take him at the spot that they're drafting in. If Will Johnson's there and they don't take him, I think that's a wrong thing to do if he's there and they don't take him. He's one that I would take. I think they're going to definitely go defense. Are they going to go wide receiver? Probably not. History would dictate no. They haven't drafted a first-round wide receiver since Javon Walker, which I believe was in 2002. So it's been over 20 years since they've done that. So I don't foresee that happening. There's a couple other, decent receivers they could take in the second round as well, but certainly not in the first round. I don't see him doing that. I see him going defense. And my guess is they're going to maybe go defensive tackle, unless Will Johnson's there, the corner for Michigan. We'll see what happens. One never knows. So thanks, everybody, for watching. Really excited about these 2 pickups. These are just pickups you patiently wait for, and eventually you get a chance to get them. You never know where this hobby's going to take you. So thanks so much for watching. We'll talk to you again soon. And everybody, enjoy the draft.